We reach the chalk of the true North Downs on this section. It is longer and a little more strenuous than the first section, with more ascent, but the climbs are not steep except in a few brief stretches. The route continues along the Pilgrim's Way at first, but leaves it about a third of the way along to move abruptly from sandstone to chalk. We will pass through several nature reserves and sites of special scientific interest, managed by the Surrey Wildlife Trust or the National Trust. Much of the route is in woodland, but we should often have magnificent views to the south over the Tillingbourne Valley towards the Greensand Ridge, the High Weald, and even to the South Downs in places, given clear weather.
Good morning again everyone, Billy No Mates again, back in Guildford on the River Way, and this is going to be part 2 of my North Downs Way long distance route series. So today we're doing stage 2 from the guidebook. This is going to be Guildford to Westhumble, although I've got to walk to Dorking, which is nearby, because that's where I've parked the car overnight. 13 miles today. It's about midday, so I've got to get a shift on. Of course, I'm going to be attempting to wild camp tonight along the route. I've got the OEX Bush Pro Tarp and OEX Bush Pro Bivvy with me. Thought I've got to start doing more tarp and actual bivvy setup, so a lot of this section is going to be woodland up on the actual ridge of the North Downs, but yeah, a lot of woodland, so a tarp would be suitable. Got plenty of paracord, got a couple of walking poles with me in case I need to rig the tarp up that way. Not really sure what configuration I'm going to go with yet, either like a classic A-frame style, or I'm going to go with a plough point. And this is where I left the North Downs Way last time. So if you remember from that video, weather today is quite cloudy, it's a bit misty, not forecast any rain, but I'm not holding my breath on that, you never know with the English weather. So I've got waterproofs and all that jazz. Got a couple of little tins of cider tonight because I'm trying to run lightweight with this, because I've got a little bit more mileage to do today, 13 miles as opposed to 11 on the last stage, and there's more steep ascents on this as we're climbing up onto the ridge and going up and down it. So yeah, this is where I've got to. It's lovely here. The old chapel ruins of St Catherine's on the Hill is up that way, but we are heading that way across the bridge and out of Guildford. Right, you know what I'm going to say, enough talking, let's get walking. Chauffeured Park was once part of the grounds of Chauffeured House, which was demolished in 1967. As we pass through, note on the left a group of little wooden structures made by the Surrey Wildlife Trust to provide homes for small wildlife. The park is the venue for occasional open-air concerts and other events. I've also got my brand new Climate insulated static V sleeping pad with me tonight, so we'll have to see what that's like in a bivvy bag. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to try not to waffle on too much on this video because I keep doing it, and when I go to edit it goes, you've done like over an hour, nearly 2 hours worth of footage, and I'm thinking no, so no more. We're not going to have chats about the homeless, about guns. We're just going to do some straight walking, bit of history and some camping. Bosh. Chat to you in a bit. Chantry Wood, also called the Chantries, is so named as it was bequeathed to the Holy Trinity Church in Guildford to pay for a licence for a chantry there, where the priest would pray for the soul of Henry Norbridge, a 15th century wool merchant and 9 times Mayor of Guildford.
The mixed woodland covers 188 acres and was opened to the public after its acquisition by Guildford Borough Council in 1938. We will pass St Martha's Church, one of the highlights of the whole route, and Newlands Corner, one of its busiest honeypots. Then we march in the footsteps of the Canadian Army at one of their Second World War training camps. Finally, we survey the largest vineyard in Britain and preview the start of the next section, Box Hill. St Martha's Church, also known as St Martha on the Hill, or the Church on the North Downs Way, was built in 1850 from the ruins of a 12th century church on the site of an earlier Saxon church. It is thought to be a place where pagan Saxons burned Christian martyrs, and there is a story that this, rather than the saint, may be the origin of the name. During the Second World War, the church was disguised to look like a clump of trees to avoid it being bombed. At the east gate of the churchyard is a small memorial to Yvonne Arnold, 1890 to 1958, a French actress who settled in England and after whom the theatre in Guildford was named. Her ashes were scattered nearby. St Martha's Hill is a Surrey Wildlife Trust nature reserve where adders may be seen. From this exalted location, 573 feet or 175 metres above sea level, we have splendid panoramic views. Southeast across the Tillingbourne Valley towards Blackheath and the Greensand Hills, north and northwest across Guildford and the Wey Valley. But not today. So it's about 1 o'clock now and I've arrived at St Martha's Church on the Hill. It's on the outskirts of Guildford, so we've gone through Chantry Wood and we're just sat on one of the many benches along the back of this ancient church. The viewpoint sort of looks out across that way, but as you've probably seen from the other footage, it is so foggy out today. You literally can't see more than probably not even a quarter of a mile, probably a couple of 100 yards tops really. It's very foggy out today, so there are some amazing views but we can't see them. There's quite a lot of North Downs Way walkers out, a lot of people just out for regular walks and stuff like that. It's a really popular place, hence why they've got all these benches here, and one of the best bits of the North Downs Way in its entirety, the guidebook says. So it's a pretty cool church to be this high up as well. So I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes and recover. There was some really steep walking up there, and I'll get back to you in a bit.
we've left St Martha's Church on the hill, which is just there. I think I timed it just right because the guy that was looking after it, like the church warden, literally locked the door as soon as I'd left and went home, so that was quite good. It's not even that late really, it's about 1:15. This is the view. To be fair, with the naked eye it's clearer, and yeah, you can see a long way. There's some amazing views up here. Be honest with you, you probably could get away with a cheeky wild camp. This was actually my original choice. I was thinking, oh, it'd be really cool to camp near this church on the hill, and then I sort of was like, nah, it could be a bit too risky. But now I'm actually here, I'm thinking, do you know what, it's doable, but I want to walk further today because I've got to be back, of course, for work at 3 PM tomorrow, Sunday. So, and it's at least an hour's drive, nearly an hour and a half's drive for me to get back home and then get to work. So, of course, when I get to Westhumble, which is the end of stage 2, I've then got to walk south for about a mile, I can't remember how far, to get my car from Dorking. So I'm going to need to be up early tomorrow morning, and like I say, I need to smash as much of this as I can while I've got the light and stuff.
Newlands Corner is one of the busiest honeypots that we will encounter or endure along the North Downs Way, and no wonder, for this is one of the finest viewpoints in Surrey. As well as a refreshment kiosk, picnic tables and toilets, there is a visitor centre with displays about the local area. In 1926, Agatha Christie's infamous staged disappearance from here started a woman hunt throughout the nearby downs.
Thought I'd get this out of the way now. Apologies if you're watching this video and it's a lot of photos and boring, unimaginative cinematography. Reason being, I've got to get the miles done, and I haven't really got time to be doing shots where, you know, I'm walking past the camera, then I've got to go back and get the camera, things like that. Photos and just quick snippets of footage is quicker to do, so apologies in advance. Kind of like the last video, the first part of the North Downs Way. It's just it's not going to be the best filming, so apologies in advance. Thank you for watching so far though, hope you're enjoying it. Well, I'll do one walking shot for you and that's it, I hope you're happy. None of this though. Okay, so the silent pool is down that track there, which is off of the North Downs Way. Now that's a really interesting little piece of history there. I'm not going to take the detour. It's pretty cool, the history. I was reading about it the other day and I thought, nice, but our route is that way, so apologies. No silent pool, North Downs Way.
Netley Park, part of Sheer Woodlands Nature Reserve, was the Second World War training ground of Canadian armed forces who arrived in 1943 to prepare for the Normandy landings of June 1944. The concrete water tanks that we see are relics of their occupation. For 1.3 miles, the North Downs Way follows what is known locally as the Canadian Road, as it provided access to the training ground. It once had a tarmac surface, but that is gradually wearing away.
Okay, it's about 4:30 now, so sunset is going to be any time soon. So I reckon I can probably walk till about 5 o'clock and then it's going to be dark. So I want to be confident in finding somewhere to camp. Right, it's about 5 o'clock now. The footpath is only over there about 20 metres or so. I've come off the path again, and it was thick mud. It was hard going, and I just thought I'm wiped out. I'm just gonna stop, you know. And I've come off the path, sort of saw this little clearing in the woods under this big tree here, and yeah, it's about probably 20 metres best off the path. It's not the most secluded spot, but do you know what? I'm past caring, and I'm sure dog walkers are not going to give a toss. You know, it should be fine. I'm just going to set up because it's just getting silly now. I'm really tired and could stop and eat and then carry on, but what's the point? It's getting dark. It's only getting dark, but it's so misty. It's literally like there's a massive fire, and it's just like this mist just coming through the trees, and you can't see that far in front of you really. It's making the light even worse. So yeah, I think time to set up. In fact, I'm liking the look of this tree here actually. That's decent. Or even over here. I just saw a deer run through here a second ago, literally. I scared it off with the torch, so good thing I got my tick keys with me. Right, I'll find somewhere to set up anyway and I'll come back to you. Alright everyone, welcome back. I've managed to set up the Bush Pro tarp in sort of like a plough point configuration without a pole, so I've still got my 2 trekking poles spare. I can use them as weapons to fight anyone or anything off, I guess, in the night. What I've done is I've just looped some paracord over the corner, tied it off to the tree, and then pulled out and pulled out the sides and the other corner and stuff, and I've made like a plough point against the tree, so that's pretty good. So it's out of the wind a bit. I've got the OEX Bush Pro Bivvy all set up as well with my new sleep mat inside it. Yeah, it's all good. I've got the BCB Fire Dragon stove tonight using some Van Gogh like green gel fuel stuff. I've got some Esbit tablets as well, but that's the only fuel that I've bought. Where the temperature's really dropped, it has got really cold. The fuel's struggling to sort of burn hot enough, I think, because this should have boiled a lot quicker, and it struggled a bit. So
I've got a hot chocolate and a coffee at the moment. I've just got off the phone to Candice. She was a bit concerned about me. And I'm fine. So for dinner I've got meatballs and pasta, which I'm gonna, once the water's boiling, I'm gonna stick that in there. I'm absolutely starving. I've had some trail mix since I've set up. For dessert I'm having a chocolate pudding. Then what else have we got? I'm having the first of 2 ciders. You might be able to pick it up roughly. There, it's an Ausker raspberry, wild strawberry and elderflower cider, 4%. I wanted to just go with little 330ml cans for this because I wanted to keep the weight down, of course. It's good. The other one I've got is the Ausker peach, mango and lime cider, and that's also a 4%er. I believe that plane's probably, it's either Gatwick or Heathrow, I can't remember, but we always seem to be on the North Downs Way. There always seems to be either an airport with airplanes flying overhead, or you've got the train down below, and that's probably the train that I actually got to get to Guildford at the start of this one. So there's either like a plane flying overhead, or there's a train going past. And on some sections there's like the M25 as well, so yeah, there's always a bit of noise. It's not the quietest of places, but still, it's nice. It's been fun. So I've worked out I've probably got about 4-5 miles left to go, which don't sound that much, but this sort of terrain, it being very muddy and slippery, and there's some sort of steep ascents and stuff like that. Excuse me. That could take a bit longer than normal, but I'm going to aim to try and get up for, I want to be up probably before 7, about 6:30 I reckon. Get eating, I'll try and film a bit, and then just get all this taken down and get moving really. I want to be walking by, I'd like to say 8 o'clock would be good, 8:30 at the very latest. Yeah, so that's the plan anyway. So it'll just be getting light then. Sunrise is like 8 AM at the moment, something ridiculous. So yeah, it is what it is. But where I've sweated earlier as well, some of like my base layers and stuff have got, of course, damp, and of course they're getting cold, so I've got to be careful with that. So I might have to get changed out of stuff before I get in the bag tonight. I've got my softy trousers on and my down jacket on underneath this rain jacket. I just stuck them on straight away. I've got a pair of dry socks and a pair of Arctic socks as well. I've got hand warmers and foot warmers. I mean, I reckon once I'm inside that bivvy I will be toasty warm, but sat out here it is a bit nippy. Haven't got any gloves because I lost one of my fingerless gloves, and I haven't got round to buying any more yet, so that's been a bit annoying not having gloves today, because there's been times when my hands have been freezing cold and you can't really hold with your hands in your pockets the whole time. So anyway, first world problems, you know. While dinner's cooking, I just thought I'd quickly show you the tarp setup and stuff. All of this mist and stuff you can see on the screen it's sort of like a mist, fog and a little bit of rain in the air. That's how thick it is here. Literally looks like dust when you go down in like an old tunnel and stuff, and it just comes towards the screen. So cleared the leaves back
off of this area, and then using this big tree here, I've tied the top corner of the tarp up there, and then I've sort of made a plough point configuration. And then this bit was a little bit crazy. I sort of guyed out a few bits. I pegged the bottom one down, and then this one I've taken right out to this tree here and tied off. Had to use a bit of paracord, then a guy line, and then I've attached this one to here, and without knowing I kind of almost made like a prusik loop, and I can sort of slide it along and tighten it and tension it. It's just to pull the back end of the tarp up, so I've got a bit more space underneath it, and same with that bottom one, just to pull the tarp off the foot box, because the bivvy is literally right up against that. So I'm just trying to make a bit of space to prevent any condensation and stuff in the foot box in the morning. So that's super taut. That if we get any more deer come through here, I'll probably end up accidentally garrotting a deer if they try and run through that. That's like, it's pretty tight, or it was. But still, yeah, so the tarp's doing a good job at the moment. As I say, there's a few drops of rain coming out of the trees, because obviously there's a little bit of rain in the air, which we weren't forecast. I'm going to check the Met Office in a minute, see what it's saying. So yeah, there's dinner on the BCB stove. It's boiling. That's my rubbish bag. And yeah, underneath those two poles, by the way, I don't really need to have them pushed up like that. I just did it just to get them out of the way. So I've got the Bush Pro bivvy under there. I've got a piece of Tyvek, a silver like ripstop aluminium ground sheet. Then I've got that cheap silver accordion style Thermarest Z-Lite foam mat, except this one's some Chinese knockoff copy. The bivvy itself, inside that, I'm not going to get it out now. Inside the bivvy I've got my new Climate insulated static V sleeping mat. And apparently it's got an R rating of 4.4, so it should be pretty warm. I hope so anyway. And then I've got my OEX Helios 3-season down bag in there. I've got my normal Decathlon inflatable pillow. I've got a stuff sack pillow with sort of spare socks and sort of stuff sacks and stuff in there. Desserts on top there. My cooking and fire lighting equipment's there. And then my water bottle, the smart water bottle that I've been drinking from today. Another cider. And then I've got like a Ditties bag, which is like electronics, lights, first aid kit, microphones, cables for charging and stuff, spare lights, sort of just little essentials bits really. Waterproof over trousers, map case, another 1.25 litre bottle of water, and then that bag on the top, that's my breakfast and snacks for the walk tomorrow. And then in the blue bag, that's like a trash bag, I use it as a rucksack liner, and that's got my rucksack in it. So that's pretty much all the gear. Oh yeah, and I've got that little Highlander kind of fold up chair thing that you can sit back in, and a little silver kneeling mat that I just put on the seat part of it, and it stops me getting a cold arse, or Farmer Giles. Yeah. Oh, I've got a little mini light here as well. It just throws up enough light. If we switch that out, probably still can't see much because I've got the flash on as well. I've got all the lights on. I can probably be seen from outer space with this amount of lighting on, but I just thought at least you can see what we're looking at. I'm going to switch them all out in a minute. Right, anyways, that looks like that is ready. That's been boiling a while. I'm starving, and it's pretty cold. So once I'm right under the tarp and in the bivvy, I'll be toasty warm. But it's just sat out here is, it's nippy. I'm all right really. I think it's here. I could have done with pulling the tarp round more to block the wind a little bit, because I find I was a bit chilly sort of sat like here, so then I just sort of sat a little bit further inside and I was instantly warmer. So I'm still learning. Right, anyways, let's get some food in me. It's time for some warm food. I've been looking forward to this all day. Cheers everyone. I hope you're enjoying the video. Thanks for putting up with me and this video for this long. Some pasta. Meatballs are pretty decent size, you know, sort of thing you'd get in a normal tin or something at home. It's not as good as beans and burgers or sausages and beans, but it's still not bad. I'll take it. The pasta in it's lovely. I've just made up a Horlicks hot drink as well. Don't know if that's a little bit too premature. I'm gonna go to sleep early tonight. Probably gone 7. Let's crack open the other side of the peach, mango and lime. So I don't want to be carrying that with me tomorrow. Cheers. Who says camping has to be suffering? Oh, lovely. That's better than the other one. Yeah, I like that one, it's alright. They do a rhubarb one, and that's amazing. It'd be a bit boring just watching me eat this. It's not that kind of channel, so I'll wolf that down, crack on with that cider, and then we've got pudding as well in a bit. I'll chat to you in a bit everyone, cheers. It's only 8:30. The rain has stopped. I think the mist might be clearing a little bit as well, but still a bit chilly. But fear not, we've got the chocolate pudding. The light's not very bright because it's running low on battery. I need to stick it on a battery pack in a minute. My filming light. I've had both ciders now, and I've had the Horlicks, so this will probably be like the last sort of hot thing I consume before I get in the bivvy. Since I had that meatballs and pasta, I've sort of felt a lot better. I felt a lot more like assured of the situation kind of thing. I'm not saying I was panicking or anything, but I don't know, hot food is a great morale boost without a doubt, and that's obviously what I needed. I mean, I've been snacking on stuff throughout the day, but not like a proper meal or a hot meal, so obviously needed that, and I feel great again. So I'm looking forward to getting in the bivvy bag because it's going to be really toasty in there. But yeah, I've just been chilling out, been watching a bit of Haze Outdoors. Another plane. This chocolate pudding is unreal. Yeah, the time's just been going really slowly. No long chats and rants tonight. It's been good though. It's been a good test of the tarp so far. It's not had like a heavy rain, but there's been rain sort of filtering down kind of thing through the trees, so yeah, it's not a constant rain sound, it's like drops here and there sort of thing. Oh, I think it's gone 9 o'clock now, and I just had probably the best insertion into a bivvy bag ever. It was textbook, and there was just no issues whatsoever. I planned it out, and it was executed so well. I wish I'd have filmed it, to be honest, because what I did was I put like my spare dry socks on, then I put my foot warmers on, stuck them to the soles of my feet,
Then I put the Arctic socks on over the top. Got the down stuff on already and the softy trousers. And then I had the sleeping bag liner outside loose, and I got in that, and then with that I managed to sort of sit on the edge without getting any dirt on me, and I managed to get into the sleeping bag. Well, I sort of got in the bivvy first, and then sort of, because the sleeping bag was like half unzipped, I sort of wrapped that around me and then got into the sleeping bag. And it's brilliant. I just like boom, straight away. Usually you need like a lubricant to get in a bivvy bag, I find, but that worked really well. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to wind down now and get nice and warm in here. It instantly feels warmer, and I'm right under the tarp, so if we do get any rain, I'm not going to get any on my face. I have got a little OEX bug head net, just so that I can kind of sleep with my face outside. I'll zip my down jacket right up, I can pull my hat over my eyes. I'm going to have the bug net just to sort of stop anything sort of getting on my face in the night. Not that it ever really does, but it's more of a peace of mind thing. It's a small lightweight item, a bug head net, and if it means that you get a better night's sleep, bring it, even though it's cold and we're not really going to get like biting insects and stuff. It's just, like I say, it's just a peace of mind thing whenever I'm in a bivvy like this. When I'm in the hoop bivvy, don't have to worry about it. It's brilliant, of course, because it zips up. It's got its own bug net door. One of the reasons why I love that bivvy. But for a normal faceless bivvy, I just think just get a little bug head net and you're laughing, really. Anyways, right, no waffling, Tom. Right, as I say, get up for about 6:30, something like that. I'm going to set the alarm now, and then I'm just gonna wind down and hopefully just gently drift off to sleep. Hopefully get a good night's sleep. It's so warm in here now. I've been waiting for this, and my foot warmers have kicked in. Brilliant. Anyway, simple things in life, eh? Right. Yep. See you in the morning, guys. Night. Morning all. It's 7:15. First alarm went off at 6:30, and I eventually got up at about 7:15. So I've just boiled water up on the BCB stove, and I've got a gingerbread tea that was kindly given to me by Mark, First Class Adventures, along with a load of other teas and hot beverages and snacks for camping. Cheers, mate. And I've got one of those porridge to go squares. Strawberry, raspberry and cranberry. And then I'm looking forward to this. I've got some Fuel protein porridge. This one's chocolate, and I've added like a fruit topper which has got yogurt coated raisins, dried apricots, pecan nuts, stuff like that in it. I'm going to start getting all of this stuff packed away. It's still dark at the moment. It's not going to get light until about 8 o'clock. I slept actually pretty well last night, despite the fact that I never normally sleep particularly well in a faceless bivvy. My mind just can't switch off, and never been a fan of sleeping in them really, unless I've got a tarp, and even then I still get quite broken sleep. But that wasn't too bad last night, and the sleep system that I had kept me so warm. I was really toasty in this. It's my rain jacket. Bit of a mess at the moment, organised chaos, but got my waterproof socks in here. Put those on when it's time to start walking again. This bivvy's great. You can fit kind of everything you need in it. I could probably squeeze all my equipment in it if I needed to, but it's not too bulky. It's a kind of a light sort of thin material. I'm sure it's probably not waterproof, but it's water resistant, you know. It stops your sleeping bag from getting damp and condensation on it and stuff, and yeah, I was really pleased with it. And then this sleeping bag liner, I got this really cheap from Go Outdoors. It was on offer. I think it's silk. I don't think it's a heavy cotton. I'm pretty sure it's silk, and they usually cost a lot more. Ah, I've just found my other glove. I found my other glove. Brilliant. I think I chucked the other one away as well. Oh no, it's in the wash at the moment at home. Brilliant. I'm wearing that. I'm going to do a Michael Jackson. Anyway, at least I've got one hand that's warm. Right. Yeah, so this that was unplanned, by the way. High gear mummy sleeping bag liner. Just says luxurious brushed fabric, and it weighs 0.2 kilos. I don't know whether it's cotton or not. I'm pretty sure it's silk, but I don't know. Whatever it is, it's lightweight and it's nice and warm. The other thing is my sleeping bag, my OEX Helios down bag. I can never remember the full name of it. It's something ridiculously long. Helios EV. Tiny bit of dampness on the foot box at the bottom, where my feet were touching like the bivvy was touching the tarp at the end there, but my feet weren't cold. I had the foot warmers on. I was so warm inside that bivvy bag. Once I got in there, I didn't want to get out. The smaller the shelter you have, the better, the easier it is to insulate it, because the warm air can sort of stay contained in a smaller space. You haven't got a bigger space to heat up, sort of thing. So it gets really warm in a small space, which is good. It's where bivvies are quite useful. It's 8:30, so I'm leaving just on time. Packed everything away, as you can see, leaving no trace. Kicked all the leaves back, got all the rubbish with me. You never know I was there, really. So, to move you back round, we are going to be heading out of the woods. The path is, as I said last night, about 20 metres away, and back onto the North Downs Way. Trains have started up, you can hear them tooting their horns. Alright, cheers. Hopefully I'll never see you again. Once I've done this, I don't ever plan on coming back again. Right, show you how close I am to the path. Right. Oh. No sunrise, it's just been cloudy again, and just depressing weather. Haven't had any rain yet. I'm going to keep an eye on that, because I was over there. I'm going to keep an eye on the rain, because I checked the Met Office last night and it said it was meant to start at 1 AM and then continue on. It didn't, it actually stopped. So, but they're saying it's a 90% chance of rain today, so I'm most likely going to get caught in that. And here we are,
It's almost like a little game trail. And someone's just walking past now. Right, we're heading this way. That's our first person of the day that we've seen. Literally as I was stepping out of the trees there, he was like walking behind me. Didn't seem to care, just said morning. You look at the rucksack on my back, you know what I'm doing. I've been camping, mate. Clearly doing the North Downs way. 4 to 5 miles left to walk. And it's 8:30 now, so let's assume I can manage, well, 3 mile an hour would be ideal, but let's say to be on the safe side, 2 mile an hour, yeah? 2 mile an hour, so I'm looking at, I reckon, about 2.5 hours of walking, so with any luck I should get back to the car for about 10:30, 11 o'clock, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all. It's usually about the same time I always get back. I'll bring you back in a bit. Enough talking, let's get walking.
Blatchford Down, part of White Down Lease, has been named in honour of Alan Blatchford, 1938 to 1982, one of the co-founders of the Long Distance Walkers Association. Later in this section we will encounter Steers Field, which commemorates Chris Steer, 1919 to 1992. The pair jointly founded the LDWA in 1972, a matter of some serendipity, as Chris spotted a card that Alan had placed in a post office window asking for walking companions. The Weald is the name of the area that lies between the North and South Downs, though it is rarely seen from the western part of the North Downs as the green sand hills are in the way. Weald derives from a Saxon word meaning woodland or forest, and the whole area was heavily wooded in Saxon times. Looking southeast from here, the rich farmland beyond Dorking is the Low Weald. A great chunk of it, 10 miles away, has been taken up by Gatwick Airport, and we may see aircraft using it. The higher ground on the horizon is St Leonard's Forest in the High Weald, which has been designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty.
So these pillboxes that I'm coming across are actually open. Yeah, you can actually go in these ones, but they look pretty tidy and they're really well preserved. You can see how it would have had this concrete roof and then like a brick sort of structure to it, and these little steps going down to it. Wow. Yeah, these are really clean. I mean, you're always going to get spiders and cobwebs and whatnot, but just look how well preserved they are. Okay, a little bit of rubbish there and a bit more, but still, there's a hell of a lot of spiders in it, although quite a few of them look like they're dead. Imagine what it must have been like stationed in one of these. It must have been awful. But you'd be out of the wind and the rain. That looks like a dog bag. I know they always look like the same every time I show you these, but I think they're fascinating. So you've got this big central supporting sort of brickwork to hold the roof up, and apparently if any gunshots, if any enemy fire did get in through these little gun slits or observation slits, having this bit in the middle would have acted as like an anti-ricochet device, so the bullet wouldn't have bounced around it, just this would have absorbed it rather than bounce around and potentially, you know, hit any of the occupants, which is quite cool. So there would have been little shutters for these as well, so I suppose they could have closed those up in times of gunfire and stuff. And then it's sort of got like a blast wall, you had to sort of go down that little passageway to get into this. I mean, if you forget about the rubbish and the spiders, it's quite cosy. I mean, if you had a bivvy bag that zips up, you could sleep in here if you needed to. At least stay out of the bad weather. Definitely. Anyways, let's head back outside, up the steps. Oh. Very low doorway, low passageway, you've got to really duck. And I'm a short arse as well, and I had to duck. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Imagine if you just threw a bivvy bag on top of that and just camped there. I'm kind of wishing I walked a bit further now, because I could have maybe slept in one of these last night or camped in the front of it. I haven't put the microphone in yet. Show you around the front of these as well. Yeah, look, you can see the metal reinforcements there, and where the slit would have been, like the shutter to close the observation slits. You've got a lot of different types of pillbox. It's not just like one type. There's quite a few different types, and you can kind of date what era they're from based on the design. I can see another one over there. Anyway, let's keep going, because as I say, I've got to get a walk done as well. But I had to stop and have a look in here.
Pillbox is the nickname for a miniature fort, so called because the construction is reminiscent of the boxes that used to contain medicinal pills. They were used on First World War battlefields, but during the early part of the Second World War, when an invasion of Britain by German forces seemed imminent, some 28,000 were erected at strategic locations. Around 6,000 remain, and we will pass at least 12 as we progress along the North Downs Way, including 7 in this section, though some may be hidden by foliage in summer. The pillboxes we see are mostly hexagonal in plan, constructed of brick or concrete, with a slot in 5 sides from which to observe or shoot. In wartime, they would have had some form of camouflage and were manned by the Home Guard. Ranmore Common is a vast tract of open access land on top of the North Downs, much of which is common land or owned by the National Trust. It is a site of special scientific interest due to the many rare species that can be found: white admiral butterfly, satin wave moth, birds such as woodcock, tree pipit, nightjar, redstart and hawfinch, flora such as yellow archangel, tutson, sweet woodruff and enchanter's nightshade. Steers Field is a steep grassy slope that forms part of the Denbies Hillside National Trust property. It is named after Chris Steer from the LDWA. St Barnabas Church looks much too large for its remote location, and like St Martha's has been called the church on the North Downs Way due to its size and lofty position. It sits on the 185 metre contour line, and the spire soars a further 46 metres, making it visible for miles around. It was built in 1859 by the great Victorian architect Sir George Gilbert Scott, initially for the private use of the Cubitt family of builders, but its services are now open to all. The schoolhouse nearby, also built by Cubitt, no longer functions as a school. Denbies was the 100-room mansion of the Cubitt family of builders. Thomas Cubitt, 1788 to 1855, built much of Bloomsbury and Belgravia in London, also parts of Buckingham Palace and Osborne House. The mansion was demolished in 1953. Part of the estate was handed over to the National Trust, but most of it was sold to Adrian White.
We're nearly there. Down below us is all the vineyards of Denbies. Massive wine estate. In the distance over there, that's Box Hill. That's where I'll be going on the next section. And then all of this down below us in the distance, I believe that is Dorking. And the car's parked down there somewhere.
Denbies Wine Estate is one of England's largest vineyards, covering 627 acres or 254 hectares and stretching for over a mile west of the A24. Most of Thomas Cubitt's Denbies estate was bought by Adrian White, chairman of Bywater, the water treatment company, who set about developing the vineyard, as it happens close to the location of a Roman vineyard. The estate includes Bradley Farm, where the villa-style visitor centre and winery now stand. It is open to the public as a shop and restaurant, and the farmhouse offers bed and breakfast.
And then just ahead of us is the busy A24 crossing. I'm probably going to leave the video here, okay? Because that's going to be boring and that's not North Downs Way, this is, so so I'll probably come back to this spot, Box Hill, and then it's going to be on to Merstham, I think it's called. So from like Westhumble to Merstham, that section's 10 miles, which isn't as bad. That's the shortest one so far, but it's probably going to have some really steep climbs and stuff in it. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of my North Downs Way adventure. It's been good fun. It's been tiring, this one. It's been hard work. The first one was a walk in the park. This is a different beast, but it's prepared me for what's to come, really, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying this at the moment. So anyways, till next time, take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, be nice to everyone, people, and remember, get out there and explore, because life's far too short. Have fun. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.